global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings Today. A lot of visitations are going on right now in Nigeria. Don't forget that some hours ago, Nigeria welcomed the United States Secretary General Antonio. Is already in Nigeria, but right now he's in Maduguri. And then, of course, the president himself have the intention of visiting Ebonyi State on a 2-day working visit. A lot of things are going on in the background. And one of the IPOB's internal strong member have decided to give an outline of what will likely happen on that day of his visitation. Of course, a lot of things are going on in the background. Don't forget that the autopilot chieftain Simon Ekpa also have given his own mandate sometime in April, where he said the greatest of all lockdown will be experienced in Nigeria, in Southeast in particular, where he gave 3 days that's going to be on shutdown. A lot of reactions are following. In a moment, you're going to find out all the nitty-gritties going on. Apart from the normal sit at home Mondays, that is now almost a norm in Nigeria, in Southeast in particular. Well, before we go into the news proper, like it, subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Quite a lot of persons know who Chinasa Nworu is. He's a strong card carrier member of the indigenous people of Biafra. In fact, he speaks a lot on the DOS and what they intend to do. And a whole lot of people believe that if he speaks, obviously he's actually talking the mind of a DOS about the matter. Ever since the President President Muhammad Buhari have made his declaration that he will be coming to Ebonyi State on a 2-day working visitation, things are changing, dynamics are changing, lockdowns are being called out, and these days have been declared as lockdown pending if there will be a change of visitation of the president. And that's the according to Chinasa Nworu. He said the whole of Biafra land to be locked down on the 5th and 6th of May 2023 in protest against the invitation of Jubril Buhari by Governor David Umahi. I thought we had gone past this Jubril stage, but let's continue anyway. A lot of Nigerians are wondering what is going on. Another lockdown, 2 days, and there's another lockdown already being mentioned and publicized by the autopilot chieftain. I'm talking about Simon Ekpa himself, where he said that whether they like it or not in Southeast, that there will be a lockdown on the 16th, on the 17th, and on the 18th. And he insisted that should be sacrosanct. Simon Ekpa of the autopilot's faction has declared 16th, 17th, 18th of May 2022 as days in which there will be a sit-at-home protest. And a lot of people have been reacting to this. They are really wondering what is going on. And this is what some Nigerians are saying. This one here is saying state actors like Simon Ekpa is actually looking at Abakaliki State. He's from Abakaliki State. He's from Ebonyi State rather. They were looking at the Kanu himself, Nnamdi Kanu. This is a Nigerian talking now. Said Kanu is from Omaha. The UGM seem to be having stronghold in Owerri. He said, and these people are the UGM is busy doing so much. You will form vigilantes like Bakassi boys and fish out those bringing down the Igbos. See, the thing is wonderful right now. Are you guys aware that there's another group right now and they're actually seeking for I think they're in diaspora. I'll get the full details in the next video. This is just a pipeline. I'm still investigating on that. There's another group in diaspora. They're trying to have their name in corporate affairs. Then after that, they will launch their name out officially. They just mentioned the tidbits, they learn their name officially. Then they will have their boys on ground in Southeast. Now it's becoming the fractions are getting too much. Okay, I think going forward, personal opinion now, there need to be a unifying factor. please don't be angry, but I have to make reference to what these guys are doing. Lana Modua, they had a lot of fractions. Yeah, they had a lot of fractions, and some of these fractions had different names. But Pa Adebanjo, Akintoye had to come around and say, look, if all of you are all fighting for the same purpose, which is to see how Yoruba nation, Odua nation will be actualized, why don't you come to one umbrella body, which they did, and today they have what we call Ilana Omodua. All those agitating for Oduduwa and all that, they all come under that umbrella, but they all, probably because he's an elder statesman, they just allowed him, to speak on their behalf. And what they did was they took, a prominent members from each group, okay, to form some sort of board, some of them secretaries, but they just made sure that they're all well represented in that Ilana Omodua, where Adeban Akintoye himself is the president. That way you don't get to hear different fractions talking differently. They also do speaking with one voice. I think the last person they co-opted into was Sunday Chief Sunday Adeyemo himself, where they now brought him as the physical figurehead person on the physical championing. But one would have expected something similar. All right, we have MASOB, we have BNG, Biafra National Guard, Biafran Nation League, we have MASOB, we have BIM, we have Biafran Warriors, we have the one that Asari Dokubo formed, we have IPOB, of course. Everybody knows IPOB. This in fact IPOB have got really international. Then we have the autopiloters who because of what is happening in DOS and how Nnamdi Kanu was abducted and brought to Nigeria, and that has given rise to DOS. That has given rise to autopilot, which is championed right now by Simon Ekpa. You just many more are coming. In fact, I don't have all the names in my head, but they're much. In fact, they're huge. Some of them already in the bushes, and some group that this one have no leader. UGM, they don't know who they are. We don't even know if they're Igbos or if they're northerners, if they're foreigners. No one have an idea. All they just know is something happens and they will say UGM did this or UGM did that. So you now see that there's so many fractions at the same time. But some persons will say if it's for the same cause, no problem. But sometimes some of their causes may impede. Don't forget that Nnamdi Kanu is in detention, and on all fronts, his lawyers, those in diaspora, that's Bruce Fine and Ifeanyi Ejiofor, Imam Powerful, which is media and publicity secretary, and Aloy Jimako, and a whole lot of them, Maxwell Okpara and the rest, have been looking towards seeing how they can get the whole world to see that the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB are not a terrorist group. They were proscribed horridly, and even that prescription is in contention in the competent court of law, and so which means calling them prescribed yet is there's a question mark to that, because they've not been fully given that they've actually contested it. With all this going on, and they want the whole world to know that they're not a terrorist group, they're just an agitating group waiting and fighting for their freedom, which is not a crime, both locally and international law. Now, with that happening, and with all this insecurity going on, and deliberate push to pin it on IPOB, you now see that the situation we have a big situation in our hands. Well, whatever the case is, we now have like 5 days now, except the days are being changed. Chinasa and Nworu have announced a different one, 5th, 6th. Then, of course, we have the 16, 17, 18 made by Simon Ekpa. Let's meet in the comment section. What's the take on this?